Lovely.
Okay. Stop that thing. Well, so everybody, welcome to the third episode of the FPL Top Dogs chatcast, videocast. And here today I've got Shane, Healy, Mark, and Adrian Phillips. So we're just going to have a general chit chat about transfers, what's happened over the last week, just what are general suggestions for the next for your game week picks. Obviously, there's a lot of COVID-19 stuff going on as well. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So just to go to the transfer stuff here, the latest. This is from the Sun today. COVID chaos.
Yeah, Pogba has COVID, Vinny, doesn't he?
Yeah, and also that will affect Wan-Bissaka at Man United. Yeah. That's a headache for United, and he'll miss the start of the season probably. It will affect United big time. Also, Tanguy Ndombele from Tottenham has tested positive as well. And also Harry Kane's been in Bahamas last week. He's through about day 8 of his quarantine, but he'll probably be back. Spurs are playing Reading tonight as well.
It's almost a good thing, Vinny, that Ndombele has tested positive for Spurs, I think.
Well, a record sign in 50 million, yeah. That's
down the drain.
Yeah, Mourinho's got his work cut out there. So just this Pogba's confirmation, he's out of the French squad, and we have with these League of Nations matches, guys. It's absolutely crazy. I think it was Chris Waddle or Glenn Hoddle, one or the other, saying it's crazy to have national League of Nations games. Ireland have got Finland and Bulgaria. Bulgaria first. England have, I think, Denmark and someone else coming up. And
yeah,
it's insane.
Michael Obafemi, it wasn't happy about being left out of the Irish squad.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't hear that over here. I'm swamped.
Yeah, he gave a little tweet out, a laughy face and a couple of emojis. Vinny, he wasn't pleased.
Okay, well that's not good because he's the future. He scored in the Premier League last season, Southampton, isn't it? So
yeah. He's in the under-21 squad, all right.
Yeah. Well, we have to be careful with under-21s because we've had Jack Grealish and we've had Declan Rice and we've lost them 2 guys, and neither of them are getting a call up for England these days. So I think Ireland is a good option, really. Anyway, so I just want to go through other things like Man United have signed these 2 young bucks, Mark Jurado and Alvaro Fernandez. They're very young. Barcelona, Real Madrid, they will be in the squad. Obviously, for Chelsea this season, they've reached their agreement here, 72 million for Kai Havertz. We're going to talk about Chelsea as well. Chelsea have, I think, a friendly with Brighton, and they're going to do a tryout for about 2,500 fans. This is a pre-season friendly, isn't it? And that's all in doubt because we have up to 9 Chelsea guys in quarantine for COVID. Jorginho, Barkley, Emerson, Tomori, Silva, Mount, Batshuayi, Pulisic, and Tammy Abraham. and 4 of them were in the same Greek island of Mykonos with Harry Maguire, but we'll get onto Harry later. What do you think of that, guys?
Yeah.
Chelsea are in disarray.
Well, Shane Healy now is a big Chelsea man, so I'm going to let him.
Yes,
I mean,
Shane,
I bet he can't.
Well, I don't think we're in disarray at all with all the signings we've made, to be honest. I'm very happy. I know we had the transfer embargo on us, so we couldn't actually sign any players, but I really am happy with the signings we've made.
Yeah, there's some cracking. Vinny, I have to say that Chelsea have been the story of this transfer window.
You have to give it to them.
Yes, well, you have to remember last season Chelsea had 2 embargoes for transfers. They didn't do any business apart from Werner. And also, they had 120 million war chest from Hazard and Morata. So the money's there. The money's there. Everybody was wondering where the money is. Now they have the money and they're spending it at the perfect time when everyone's crippled with COVID.
Thiago Silva is in the last hour. He has been confirmed a Chelsea player.
Yeah,
he'll probably start. He'll probably start, will he?
But he did his medical in Italy rather than France, I think, to try to avoid something going on. But he's 35. He's the leader. Yeah, that means that. Look, I want to get on to something else there. Christensen's future, Rudiger's future. I have something else up here, guys, about Chelsea. This is possibilities. But like, where does that leave the likes of Mason Mount and Barkley and Hudson-Odoi and Loftus-Cheek and young, the young guy, was he 16, 17-year-old?
Billy Gilmore.
Billy Gilmore.
Gilmore, yes. Shane, any thoughts about that crack with
Yeah, I do. I suppose we did so well last year nurturing all them young guys into the team that it is a bit of a shame, but obviously what we were doing wasn't enough though last season. Like, it was very evident. Like, there was never like a clear performance from us week in, week out. It was always like 1 week was good, 1 week was bad. So obviously maybe these younger guys aren't up to the standard that we need them to be for Premier League. So they've went out of their way now and they've done the business and hopefully now, if it backfires on them, fair enough. But I can't see it backfiring with the signings they've made.
There's a big difference between winning the league and being up around the top. You know what I mean?
Could we have a bit of an FPL nightmare with Chelsea, with all these new guys, Ziyech and Havertz and Werner in?
Yeah,
we have a lot of rotation,
and Ben Chilwell as well. Ben Chilwell. He's injured at the minute, but he'll be coming in, Ben Chilwell. So, where does that leave Reece James? They're all going to go out on loan. And also, Chelsea have signed another lad, Sarr. Sarr from Lille, I think. So he's going to go straight out on loan. So this is massive stuff with Chelsea.
I'd like to welcome William in. William is here.
Okay.
How are all the top dogs?
Yes, we're all here now. The 5 of us for the first time. Yeah, William, we're talking about Chelsea, about all the amazing signings, and now they have a COVID crisis of 9 players possibly. As I was saying, any thoughts? We have no idea of the starting Chelsea 15.
No, hang on a second. I was listening to all the Chelsea talk there. I got it, but I think you might just be missing the big picture that Lampard has identified, that in order to win the Premier League, you have to follow Man City and Liverpool's suit. You can't win a Premier League title with 13, 14 good players. You need 20. Those guys you were talking about, the guys they've blooded, Tammy Abraham, Billy Gilmore, all them, they're not going to go on loan. They might send 1 or 2 lads out on loan, but you're going to see Chelsea fielding a different team in the League Cup, a different team in Europe, a different team in the Premier League, and they will definitely win at least 1 trophy this coming season, if not 2, I'd say, with that squad. I think that squad they have now is potentially better than overall potentially better than Liverpool's squad. I has the potential. although we have one or two more world-class players than they do, I think having Werner, Havertz, Chilwell, they're going to be a really well-rounded team. They're going to be seriously dangerous. They're a definite top 3 team this coming season, you know, and challenging for the title. I think United need to sign 2 or 3 players rapid to try and get back in contention. At the minute, they're not going to be rapping on the door in my view. So Chelsea are the biggest danger to City and Liverpool this season, definitely.
Yeah. Who do you think is the must-have Chelsea player or players for your team this season?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, William.
See, here's the thing. What's going to happen, what I can see happening is owning Chelsea assets is going to be really dodgy, because it's going to be another case of like what happens at City. Who do you own between Mahrez, Sterling, Aguero, Jesus? You don't know who's playing from week to week. The same thing's going to happen at Chelsea. At least with Liverpool assets, you know that Mane and Salah will be playing in the Premier League at the weekend. You know, Trent,
Exactly,
like they're not going to be dropped. They're not going to be rested.
KDB as well at City,
you know?
is the dead cert as well. That's why it's a City syndrome with Chelsea now. And also, what about Azpilicueta and Alonso? Like, it's massive rotation here, isn't it, with Chelsea? I think Timo Werner is probably the only one you can trust maybe starting most of the games, and he takes penalties.
Yeah, probably Kante as well, but you don't want him.
Yeah.
It could be a case.
Well, I was saying to the lads earlier, why would you spend 9.5 million on Timo Werner, who's going to get subbed off in every game on 70 minutes? Tammy Abraham or Giroud is going to come on when you could have Jimenez, Ings, or Vardy, who are guaranteed to play 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's what I like about. Yeah, I don't know if we can touch a lot of Chelsea assets. So let's move on. Any other? Well, what about the COVID stuff? Because back in March, in spring, Hudson-Odoi, he had a sniffle at Chelsea, and then he got tested positive, and then Chelsea closed the whole operation down, and this was the beginning of the everything going bang and then we had the big startup. So look at the cases we have; they're all over the place. There's possibly up to 8 teams in the Premier League that have an infected star on their squad, and most are in isolation. So when are we going to see, like we saw Mikel Arteta at Arsenal, that was probably the final straw. If Guardiola gets the COVID, so I think there's a question about the start of the season. At the moment, they're all going ahead. There doesn't seem to be any rumblings over here from what I hear. But any thoughts about this, guys, about the FPL team and it's playing an early wild card and then doing a free hit maybe, and then you get the COVID thing and then everything's up? It's risky.
Yeah, well, Vinny, I'd look on it like as in controlling what you can control. And we just can't control that. It's uncontrollable. We can do nothing about it. We're going to have to just pretend that there'll be no COVID, really, like.
Well, I was, yeah, let's just quickly go over what's happening at Sky, okay? We're just seeing what they have up in Sky at the minute. Now, this Matt Doherty move from Wolves to Tottenham, that hasn't happened yet. It seemed very dead certain 2 days ago. There's not so much. But what's going on here? We've got Messi. Well, Messi wouldn't make Man City unbeatable. I'm not sure about that. That's probably Carragher, isn't it? Messi, Pep. Pep's contracts. Suarez has been told he can go, and obviously he's best mate to Messi, so that's upset the apple tart over there. Henderson signed 6-year deal. That's the goalkeeper. Chelsea signed Chilwell. Silva joins Chelsea. Yeah, Havertz special club. Wolves, Maitland, Niles. So Wolves are looking for Maitland, Niles probably to replace Doherty. So what do you think of the Messi affair, boys? Do you think it will happen?
I think if he comes to the Premier League, it'll be good for a club because of even the player as a player himself, but even what the money they could make off him on jersey sales and the marketing of it all. I think it would be interesting. I'd love to see him come into the Premier League.
Anyone else want to say something about this? Like, how much would he cost in the FPL? Would he play every game?
Hmm?
Yeah.
What's the question? Sorry about Messi.
Okay, I would just say, well, Messi joining as a midfielder in the FPL, like, we're totally swamped with midfielders. It's
Yeah,
Rashford
I think
going back
if he
to
goes to City,
midfield.
if he goes to City, you cannot have your team. You cannot leave him out. Simple as. If he goes to City, whatever he costs, you cannot leave him out.
He could be your Salah type player for City. He could be this guy that Pep believes in because he seems to have a bit of an attitude, Messi, and he seems to be a guy you can't leave out of your team. So I think Pep would have to start him in every game if
Yeah,
he does come.
his ownership will be through the roof. I would say the highest ever percentage.
Well, probably something like 14 million, 14.5. It's just like, how can you have KDB, Messi, Mahrez? I'm kind of hoping he won't come because it'll make my life easier. Because I love KDB so much. And anyway, so what else is going on? It's fairly quiet there. So maybe we can move on to
Vince, a question for you, Vinny.
Yeah, go on.
Out of all the new transfers in,
do you want me to show you my draft team, Vinny?
Don't go on to it yet. Just leave it two more minutes. What's that, Mark? Did you have a question?
Sorry, just out of all the transfers into the Premier League, out of all the teams, the new transfers, who do you most fancy for Premier League?
Yeah, let's pick one each so the viewers can get a bit of an insight.
To be honest, I don't fancy any of them. I'm going with the tried and trusted. I'll show you later on what I've done anyway. I'm a big believer in tried and trusted.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Timo.
Yeah, Timo. I think I was looking at what's the West Brom midfielder. Yeah, Hernandez. Maybe not. It wasn't Hernandez. It's
Pereira, I think.
Pereira, is it? He's 17 assists.
6 million. He's Brazilian. Yeah, Herrera.
Willie was looking at him.
Willie was talking about him, I think. He's a fan of his.
Yeah, he's done an awful lot in the championship last year. You can't ignore it. And he's Brazilian as well. So he might be a handy sort of, facilitator sort of transfer,
You know that Werner, he has a 39% ownership already, like.
Oh my God.
Gee. That's massive, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so these are the this is what they're going to do now for the 12th of September. Fulham is the first game with Arsenal. Aubameyang hasn't signed the contract yet, so will he score 3 or 4? Will he even start? We're not sure yet. We've got the Community Shield. We've got the Community Shield tomorrow as well. Sorry, what's that, William?
What? I didn't say anything.
Okay, well, you've got the Community Shield tomorrow with Arsenal. What do you think, William?
Sorry, what's the question? The Community Shield?
Yeah, Arsenal and Liverpool, your team. Arsenal always win finals, so obviously Arsenal will be favourites.
I to be honest with you, I couldn't care less about the Community Shield. I think, it's just a challenge game. It's just friendly. Okay. I couldn't give a rat's ass, but I wouldn't watch it.
Well, we might get some pointers. We might get some pointers.
No, you won't. No, you won't. You won't get any pointers. If you really want pointers, you have to watch. You have to zone in on your teams, particularly the lower league teams like Sheffield United last season. That was the team to watch in pre-season to pick up on Lundstrom being actually a number 8 and being classified as a defender. Like, we should be watching
Leeds next
or
Sheffield,
looking at
buddy.
results and
West Brom, I
reports from
think, could be the
Leeds
new.
United. Leeds United, West Brom. Watch their pre-season and see who you can pick up cheap. Like I have a guy selected in my draft team, Higazi. He was the highest assist maker last season in championships, 17 assists, and he's only costing 6 million, or I think 5.5. I'm not sure. 6 million, I think.
I know about
Like
Higazi. He had a great season about 2 or 3 years ago with West Brom, but he's not been getting the sort of game time. I've looked up his appearances. Well, he had about 16 first-team appearances. So, he could probably get you some game time, all right. Do you know the Sun Dream Team? I know that's a different thing, all right. But I sent a web link to there's 7 top players you need to consider. Maybe that could fit into the conversation once I get it up here. So anyway, Mark and Aidan, who do you think that the new signings, Wormer as well?
That was from the championship. Just keeping on the championship talk there, Vince. I think the Leeds defence could be a good one. As Willie was saying there, they could be the next Sheffield United, and there's some good value to be got there with Dallas, I think it is, and Ayling. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on those two.
I'd love to have a conversation about Danny Ings, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, go on.
The question is, what would stop Danny Ings from continuing on his form that he had? Like he didn't have a dip in form all season, really. Like what's stopping him from not continuing that on? Like he was injury riddled for seasons and seasons. So if he's flying fit, he's going to bag 25 goals this season. So isn't he kind of like a no-brainer really to pick from the start? Plus Southampton have great fixtures.
Yeah, definitely. He's a stick and fix striker.
Is he gone up a little bit in price, Willie?
He has, but not much.
He's 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dear, like.
He is, but he's going to play every game, every minute.
Yeah, and also Jimenez as well. Raul Jimenez as well.
Plus Southampton have a very sexy new jersey. Like it's like he's going to run faster in that jersey. I think he's going to score more goals in that jersey.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to feel good.
Yeah,
feel good factor.
Okay, boys.
Hey, Shane Long will score double digits this season as well.
Willie.
Oh, I know.
Hey, boys, these are the guys that the Dream Team have been picking up on.
Joking.
A guy called Joe Bryan for Fulham. Joe Bryan, Mateus Pereira from West Brom. This guy, Elaine Messler for Leeds United goalkeeper, because the other guy, Ike Casillas, he's been done for racial abuse, so he won't be starting all those games anymore. He's gone. He's 12-match ban.
Oh, Vinny, can I come in there, Vinny?
Yeah, go on.
I made a mistake actually when I said about Higazi being the most assists. Well, I got the name wrong. It's Pereira, that guy you mentioned.
Yeah, Mateus Pereira. This is the guy.
Yeah.
Samba.
Yeah, that's the guy.
A Brazilian creator. 31% involvement in all of West Brom's attacking goals and play and assists.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
He's the 17 assist guy. That's him.
Yeah. So he's not been in the Premier League.
Looks like he's Brazilian. I mean, that adds to.
He's only 24 as well. And this
What
guy
price
here,
is
he's
6 million.
6 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
This guy could be taking over at Leeds as the number one after Iker Casillas. So the Kiko Castilla, sorry. Kiko Castilla. Sorry, not Iker Casillas. It was Kiko Castilla. Obviously, Mitrovic is a new time. I know, William, you're not a big fan of. And another guy called Luke Ayling as well.
Oh, he looks like a bit of a rock star, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Look
Luke
at that head
Ayling,
of hair.
Leeds. So they fancy, these are the guys I see. Oh yeah, Grady Diangana. So, and Jack Harrison. These are the guys you
I've
need to watch
included
out.
Mitrovic in my team. I'm going to take a chance on him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Why do you like Mitrovic, Shane?
just because well, I know he wasn't in it last season, but the season before, like he got 134 points, and I just seen that, and I said, consistency is key. So, and obviously
Yeah,
he'll
proven
probably
man.
he'll be up top for them. He'll be leading the line for them. So
Yeah. When he
in
gets
Mitrovic,
going
I
in
trust.
Craven Cottage.
Okay, so we can get on to basically our transfers. What have we done? Well, this is what I've done anyway. I'm still figuring out. I don't have Trent Alexander-Arnold for a minute. I like Fernandes in Greenwood. I'm trying to.
Old Cole, Vinny. No Trent.
Trent,
I
no
know,
Trent, Vinny. That's crazy.
but I'm
You're out
only.
of your mind.
I know I'm only thinking. I'm only overthinking maybe, but I want to get him and Ethan Ings in, and I like Mitrovic. I really fancy Son for this season. Salah's a must. I was going to transfer Alderweireld out and get a United defender in for the double game week. That was my thinking for a 5.5. And I want Pope.
Vinny, I think you're picking that team with your Spurs goggles on.
Yeah,
Well-
what's the story with the two Spurs midfielders?
Well,
I understand Son, but the other guy,
Yeah.
Holberg, I don't know.
Well, Holberg, I was impressed with the match against Ipswich, and he played a good game, and he'll be playing most of the games, and I think he'll come off the bench because I'm going to play with 3 strikers, and I'm going to have Fernandes and Greenwood. I'm going to have 4, so I just want somebody on the bench that I know that will pop in for a few points. But I think I will. Go on.
Could you get someone that might do a little bit better game week 1, possibly? What price is he?
Well, I'm trying to get away with game week 1 and not use a wild card or a free hit. That's the whole. And also, I want to get KDB in my team as well. I'm still all over the place, really.
Holberg is 5 mil.
5 million, yeah, not
Vinny,
bad.
I'm gonna help.
5, yeah.
Vinny, I'm going to help you here and tell you about Holberg, right?
Not like Willie to give too much away now. It should be interesting.
Okay, so maybe somebody else want to show what else they're doing, or William.
Yeah, but he's going to get you nothing, Vinny, and I'll tell you why. Holberg isn't a guy to score points in fantasy. He's like.
Okay, William, you're breaking up there, William. You're breaking up there.
William, your Wi-Fi is worse than Holberg.
Only madmen own Firmino in fantasy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what about you? What
about your team, Willie?
Yeah,
Willie, what about your team? I'd like to see it.
William, send your team on to the Top Dog WhatsApp, yeah, and then I'll put it up here.
Sorry.
If you send in the screenshot of your team, Willie, into the WhatsApp group, and we can judge it.
Maybe the rest of you want to throw in, maybe get involved.
Yeah, I'll throw mine in there, Vinny.
Throw mine in it also.
I'm just worried about all this COVID stuff. And do you know that any Premier League team can ask for their match to be rearranged or refixed? So I think there's going to be a lot of disruption in the next couple of weeks if this thing carries on. So this is Shane's team anyway. Yeah, Souček, yeah. Everyone's on about Souček. So, yeah, Werner and Mitrovic up front.
Yeah.
Okay. go wrong with that. Do you want to explain a little bit of your thinking there, Shane?
Yeah, so with Werner, I suppose it's a gamble, but I was just looking at his stats in last year. Like, he was scoring for fun the last few seasons. So I thought, like I'm taking a chance on him, I suppose, in the Premier League. It is a different ball game, I know, but I do see him being the main man for Chelsea this season. But Willie has made a good point about the 70-minute thing, because Tammy or Giroud or someone will probably be sprang from the bench then for Chelsea. So I might be reconsidering that one up top. But I mean, I think he's worth the chance for the first game week or two. And
Yeah.
if he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. But
Yeah.
I like that team. Son seems to be very popular. You have 2 Liverpool defenders, which I think is a great shout. The only thing is you're lacking Man City players and obviously United players. So what are you going to do, we'll say, after game week 1?
yeah, so I have 1.5 million in the bank. So what I'm thinking is, if Son doesn't fire, I can do, and Fernandez is playing then game week 2. Fernandez is 10.5 million. So I'll be able to do a straight swap for them two after game week 1 if Son doesn't work out. And then if Aubameyang isn't firing, he's extra collateral then for De Bruyne. So
Yeah,
that's how I'll be
But
kind of
you-
getting. So I have a kind of backup plan in that regard, but not much of a one either.
yeah. The problem is with that, I think, is that City could throw out a couple of hammerings and you could lose out ground, we'll say, on other players. If City start thumping teams 4-0, 5-0, because they can do that. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It was just I kind of want to go all out for game week 1 anyway, and
Get a good start.
get a good start. And if Aubameyang doesn't work out, then I can always go back to KDB, but which I probably will do. It was just him not playing the first game week really put me off him.
Well,
Yeah.
the Shane, the thing about, like, if Aubameyang is going hell for leather and City are going hell for leather, I'd rather have I'd find a way to get some City in there somehow. I want to.
Shane, KDB could get COVID for all.
I see that you've got plenty of Burnley guys on the bench to come on, so that's you're thinking ahead of the double game week.
Yeah.
What about a free
You're
hit?
right, Vinny.
Would you think of a free
Go
hit?
on.
Would you, up to the second game, the double game week, Shane?
I think I might do, especially with the United United have the double game week, don't they? And
Yeah, and City
City,
against
like,
Villa and Burnley.
I think a free hit there would be very smart thing to do.
Yeah, but then you'll be
Yeah,
left with the same problem in game week 3, but you'll have more information by then.
Yeah, it's just the lack of clarity I kind of have right now. But I think I'm going to go with this team I have now and see how it goes. And maybe, as you said, I never thought about the free hit for that game week, Vinny, but it would be interesting to do.
Yeah.
Well, Vinny, I left my free hit to the last game week last season, and it was a terrible idea. I would have done better with my team if I just left it alone. So sometimes this could be a good way to play your free hit, because sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else got any other teams there to have a look at?
Adrian sent his team in there, I think, Vinny.
Yeah, I threw my team in there, Vinny.
Okay, this is it there now. I'd like to...
Yeah. So I'm going with an Arsenal goalie. I think Arteta will have them set up very well. I think Arsenal could be on for a very good season this season. I've gone with 5 defenders just for the first game week, as I have a couple of guys who I need to hold on the bench for game week 2. I'm playing it like you, Vinny, kind of building the squad. So we have Trent, William Saliba, who's going very well in pre-season with Arsenal, centre-back. Vinagre, I think that's how you pronounce it. I see a lot of teams have him in. He's 4.5 million. Wolves are a decent team. I've Egan, and I've that Brantwaite from Everton. He started last year, the end of last season, so I'm hoping he'll start. Now, he might not start. Stevens in midfield is a bit of a gamble. He's only 4.5 million, but I want to hold Rashford and Foden for the rest of the season. Now, Foden is a risk. I know he may not start. And I was looking at Antonio. I know he had a brilliant end to the season last year.
Yeah.
I think if I don't know, have we looked at Antonio's fixtures? They're actually horrible. I was
Yeah,
looking
they
at
are.
them. They're terrible.
Yeah.
West Ham's fixtures are the worst in the league.
Yeah, the
But
first
they've
two aren't
Newcastle
too bad.
first.
They've
Should they have
Newcastle first.
Newcastle at home first day?
They do, but after that, it's horrible. So I might not awful sure on him.
Yeah, but like he's all right for the beginning. Like you can get him out. He's an easy one to take out. Like
He's cheap
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Can we have a look at your team, Willie?
I sent it into the Facebook group there. Can one of you throw it up?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
I
throw
will.
it up for you, Willie. If I can get it. No, I'm not. Marky, you can do it, can you?
Mark, you'll do it.
I think I have a guy there, Walker Peters, Kyle Walker Peters.
Yeah.
I think he's very cheap, and I could see him kind of like Matt Doherty. You know, he's gonna get on a lot of assists. That's my big prediction for him. I think he's gonna play well this season for Southampton.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we got William's
Willie's
team
team
now.
there.
So
Yeah,
Right, here we
talk us
are.
through it, Willie.
okay, William.
Well, this is a second draft. I'm nowhere near finalised on this, but so I'm 99% sure I'm not selecting any Manchester players. I'm only selecting players that are playing in game week 1, full 15. I think if I have to play, I played the wild card in game week 4 last season. If I have to do it again this year, I'll do it. So I'm going with Lloris in goal, and Doherty will be a Spurs player. So I have two Spurs defence because I think they're going to keep 3 clean sheets in a row to start the season. I really do. Trent is
I'll
a
be happy.
no-brainer. You have to have him. Saliba, got to get a look at him in pre-season, but if he's going to be a first teamer, I'd like to have him in. Pereira is the guy with the 17 assists from last season for 6 million. He's worth a punt. I've gone 3 Liverpool. I've kept it simple: Salah, Mane, and Trent. You know, I think that's playing it safe. Saka, how much game time is he going to get? I don't know. Is he? I'm doubting him a bit. Mightn't stay in the team. Barnes is definitely going to stay in the team because he's only 7 million. Like he's great value at 7 million. Harvey Barnes.
The good thing about that team, Willie, is you can see from the first game or two who is the Liverpool guy firing. If it's Salah, if it's Mane, and you can take the worst guy out for KDB or Sterling or whoever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And up front, Jimenez, I think he's the best of his price range because he's going to play every single game.
Yeah.
And he's going to get goals. Antonio, I'm not sold on either. I know what you're saying about the West Ham fixtures, and he had that streak of form after the lockdown, and I don't know, can he rekindle that or not? I don't know. I like my bench as well. They're all kind of.
Who's on your bench there? We can't see it.
Well, I can't see it either. But there's John Egan anyway, plays every single week. I have Egan. I have Nketiah for Arsenal. Yeah, I don't think they're going to send him out on loan because Martinelli is injured till the end of the season. If Martinelli wasn't injured, I'd have Martinelli in. But Nketiah is going to be. He mightn't even be back up. Sure, Arteta is awful fond of him. Like he played him an awful lot there towards the end of the season.
You have Douglas, the Leeds player.
Yeah, I threw him in there. I don't know anything about him, to be honest.
Do you think, Willie, just and Salah and Mane together, do you think you'll be better off going with maybe someone like Auba or someone like that for the same price range? Or
No,
would you think?
To tell you the truth, I'm hoping Liverpool go out first day of the season and beat Leeds 6-0. I think that's what's going to happen. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I would probably put Auba in for Mane, but as you said, Liverpool could play hell. And we all played Auba in the double game week last year. Do you remember towards the end of last year? And he blanked twice, so you just don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to own Auba at all this season unless he hits a Rich Freyne form.
Yeah,
I know that sounds mad, but it's the truth.
Well,
Yeah.
William, as you said, it's definitely a lottery this season with the FPL, with the midfielders, and Messi coming in if possible. It's potluck, as you said.
Mm.
Yeah. Would you leave Messi out, Willie?
Messi's not going to be playing in the Premier League, I don't think.
No, will he go
No.
to Paris Saint-Germain or maybe Inter? I don't know.
I think he's going to end up staying in Barcelona. I don't think he's going to leave at all.
Oh, right.
I think the president will get sacked, and Messi will stay.
And Koeman, they reckon that he mightn't even last till Christmas. It was his dream as a former player to manage Barca, and they think that he's just holding it until Xavi gets going, maybe next season, or if things go pear-shaped with Koeman. So Suarez is gone anyway. So I've heard a rumor that Diego Costa is thinking about a move to Tottenham. Has the second choice striker. He's only 31, and he's got that's a no-brainer, really. A former Mourinho dude. I think did he play under Mourinho? I think he did. He did, yeah. And so that's.
Can I ask one thing of the top dogs, right? Before we have to head off, I'd like to know everyone one differential each. So if you had to pick one player who's he doesn't even have to be a differential, that he's just cheap and you think he's going to do well.
Better than expected.
Well, I'll go first. I think I have the guy I have in there from West Brom, Pereira. I think he's going to be the one. But like if he gets any kind of returns in the first couple of game weeks, everyone's going to buy him. So he'll soon not become a differential. West Brom, I think West Brom will do better than people expect, and I think they'll be better than Fulham and possibly Leeds. I can see Leeds becoming this season's Aston Villa. I can see West Brom becoming this season's Sheffield United, perhaps, or even
Yeah, I think so too, Willie.
Yeah, that's what I can see happening.
And West Brom have a great fixture beginning in the first 10 games. I see one of the Phillipses have the West Brom goalkeeper in there as well. So that was clever thinking as well, I think.
I'm gone for him, yeah, Vince. Sam Johnson.
Yes.
Who's your differential, Shane?
Yeah, I think he could be a differential, and I think I have a guy there, Stuchek. He's a Czech guy for West Ham.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He got 3 goals in 13 games last season for them, and I think perhaps he could be. And he's only 5 million, so I think it's an oversight by the FPL that they've only priced him at 5 million for a midfielder. They got him for 21 million.
Yeah, that's a great shout. My differential this year, I think, will be Sergio Aguero. And the reason he's going to be a differential is he's gone to 10.5 million, so he's gone cheaper. He's owned by 4% of players. And I think if you could get him into your team and he could score a hat-trick here or there and you'll really jump points. So I think he could be a differential at the start.
Can I just throw in one more thing? I think not owning Aubameyang is a differential in itself.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly. Marky, what do you think? Who's your differential?
My differential would be, I'm not sure if you could really call him a differential, but his ownership is quite low. I think he's at 4%. That's Pulisic of Chelsea. So hopefully he's fit for the start of the season. I'm not sure if he will be, but I mean, we've seen what he could do last year. He's Werner up front now. He's guys playing in the ball. Kovacic.
Yeah, 4% is nothing like.
Ziyech. I think it'll only improve him, to be honest. And he's Chilwell up that wing too.
What price is he marked,
It'll let him get forward. He's only 8.5 million.
Okay, well, for me anyway, my differential will probably be Mason Greenwood. I love the guy, the potential. I think he's going to hit the ground running, and I think you can make some money off him. He's only 7.5. I think he's going to be a regular starter. He's owned by 14.3. Now, for a differential, you need to have it under 10. But I think he might be a victim to the fact that everyone's trying to get KDB in and Fernandes in.
Yeah.
And he's going to be overlooked. And if you look at Man United's run and the double game week to come, I think you need to really not be so dismissive of United and try and sneak at least one in the squad if you have got one.
Vinny, you're right there about Greenwood and his price. He's 7.5 now, and
Yeah.
I guarantee he'll be at least 9 million come January, February.
Ooh.
He'll be 9.5.
Bold call, Willie. Bold call.
Goal call.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would be happy just at anything over 8 or 8.2. But at the beginning of your fantasy and the season, it's all about making money and getting on guys quick. And then you're making the 0.1s and the 0.1s, and they all add up. And by the time you use your wild card near to November or maybe October, you've accumulated some reserve. So using a wild card this early in the season, it could be a bit of a, non-maximized. What do you think of that before we go, guys?
Guys, I have to say I'm quite cautious of Greenwood at the start, because if United get Sancho, then he's the right winger. So where does that leave Greenwood?
Well, I'm
Doesn't
not
look like
sure.
they're getting him.
I'm not sure.
Sancho's not happening.
No, I'm not sure about Sancho at all. I think United have, since is it David Gill left United and this guy's come in, United aren't doing great business with the transfers.
Yeah, before we go, guys, a question for everybody: who is the highest? Who is worth the most ever on fantasy football? Who is the top worth the most ever?
I think it was Suarez, but I could be wrong.
Marky,
I'm gonna go Mo Salah.
Shaney, Vinny, anyone?
I'm gonna go for Aguero.
So I saw on Twitter now, I don't know, is it 100% accurate? It was an article, Robin Van Persie.
Oh, Robin Van Persie, yeah. I was gonna say that.
14 million.
Oh, right, yeah, he was. I remember that. You're right, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, we might as well wrap it up now. We've had a good
We'll
session.
leave it there.
We're gonna hope.
Can we talk about David Luiz the next day, please?
Yes, plenty of David Luiz.
Yeah, what's the story about David Luiz? Why?
I think he's going to have a fantastic season.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
telling you.
I'd also like to talk about next week the best, the two best goalies, the best rotating goalies. If you have two goalies, say two cheap rotating goalies.
Yeah. Pick and
Go on,
stick.
we'll leave it at that.
Okay, boys.
Good luck.
We'll leave it at that. Thanks very much to Shane, Healy, the two Phillipses, myself, Top Dogs. We had a good session, and God bless and take care, boys. And Top Dog Kings, huh? Okay, over and out.